Hey everybody, Luke Wilson here with the latest early off-season outlook for you, and this time it is Zay Flowers. Yes, Zay Flowers. So Zay Flowers comes to the Ravens in 2023 after a very solid college career at Boston College, culminating with a pretty strong senior season where he went for 78 receptions, had 12 touchdowns, a little over 1,000 yards receiving. And moreover, he was part of a mini revolution that we saw at receiver in fantasy football in 2023. Him, Josh Downs, Tank Dell all come in 23 with varying degrees of buzz and leave their rookie seasons with varying degrees of hype going forward. Now, in that rookie season, Baltimore Flowers did have a fairly strong showing. On 108 targets, he was able to rack up 77 receptions, and in his last 5 games went for 4 total touchdowns. And on top of that, he had 6 games with double-digit targets as a rookie. So, first-round pedigree, was scoring touchdown in bunches at the end of the season, and was showing the ability to command a large target share in this offense. What's not to like going forward for Zay Flowers in Baltimore? But if we take a closer look, it's more than you might think. So yes, Flowers does breeze in and from day one commands a somewhat surprisingly large target share in this passing offense. Okay, that is true. Todd Monken and Lamar Jackson clearly took a shine to this guy very quickly. So that is encouraging. But when we take a look at how Flowers was used and take into consideration what the ceiling really probably is for this Baltimore passing offense going forward, that's when we start to see some cracks in the Zay Flowers narrative. So yes, while Flowers did earn himself a very respectable slice of the action in Baltimore for a rookie receiver, the Ravens overwhelmingly preferred to use him within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. They wanted to get the ball in his hands. They wanted to let him create after the catch, as is the style these days in the NFL for sure. But I just strongly believe that for any wide receiver to make a serious push to become like a top 12 receiver in fantasy football at any particular point in time, I think you either have to be truly elite at creating yards after the catch, and I just don't believe that Flowers is at his size. I just don't think he's ever going to be in like the Deebo Samuel airspace when it comes to yards after the catch. Or you have to be in a higher than average, certainly, passing volume offense, which is something that the Ravens are just never going to be. The 2023 version of this offense with Todd Monken and Lamar, playing to an MVP level, that's probably about as good as it's ever going to get for the Baltimore pass offense with Lamar Jackson as the quarterback there. Plus, let's zoom out and take into consideration the broader context of the Baltimore offense in 2023. So Zay Flowers, who yes, does have 6 double-digit target games in 2023 as a rookie, does not crack 80 yards receiving with any of them. Okay, again, going back to his usage and frankly casting a little bit of shade on his ability to create after the catch on his own. And really probably more damning than that is that he goes into week 11 with 1 receiving touchdown for the season. He does get 4 more after that, but what happens in week 11? Mark Andrews goes down for the rest of the regular season, freeing up those red zone targets that had to go somewhere. And obviously the Ravens don't have a running back to speak of, or didn't, that could catch the ball out of the backfield. So somebody had to catch the touchdowns, and yes, Zay Flowers saw his involvement in the red zone spike once Mark Andrews was out of the way. Mark Andrews is going to be healthy at the start of 2024. And like if you look at the whole kit and caboodle, you had Odell Beckham Jr. in town on a 1-year contract. He does very little, doesn't even crack 600 yards, but successfully keeps Rashad Bateman almost completely off of the field for all 17 games. So when you and again, the Ravens don't have a running back in 2023 that was meaningfully involved in the passing game. When you look at the big picture here for the Baltimore offense in 2023, it was really as close to as ideal as it is likely to get for Zay Flowers in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson as the quarterback. Very little target competition, and even that level of target competition winds up plummeting when Mark Andrews goes down right before the start of the fantasy playoffs. And I mean, really, if you want to drill it down to one talking point, Zay Flowers as the number 1 receiver for the Baltimore Ravens, who were a good offense, were a very good team in 2023, needs 77 receptions to not even come close to cracking 900 yards receiving, okay? That's a problem. So when I look at that, when I look at these numbers, look at the rookie season that Zay Flowers just completed, one that most people would agree was a very strong rookie season in the NFL. And then I go and look at what his market is like in the dynasty rankings right now. It becomes very clear to me what you need to be doing with your Zay Flowers. Flowers, for reasons that frankly I don't completely understand, finds himself shoulder to shoulder with like DK Metcalf, T. Higgins in dynasty wide receiver rankings, and nipping at the heels of Michael Pittman and Rashee Rice. Okay, he's got no business being there, guys, at all. So yeah, if you have Flowers, you need to get out of this price point. He is not going higher in dynasty. I just don't see it. Now in redraft, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, obviously, there's some shoes left to fall here in terms of what the Baltimore offense is going to do and what it's going to look like come August. The Ravens could wind up drafting a receiver. They're definitely sniffing around on that front. And you know, the Ravens going into the season needing to draft a receiver it's a Groundhog's Day narrative at this point. OBJ looks like he's gone. But, like I said in the Rashad Bateman video last week, John Harbaugh is talking up a storm about Rashad Bateman. Mark Andrews back healthy. Isaiah likely probably at this point needing to stay involved in the offense. It's just becoming very clear to me that the stars aligned for Zay Flowers pretty well as a rookie. They're unlikely to do that again. You need to get out now at this price right now. The offseason outlook for Zay Flowers is that he is a sell.